It's a real big shift in the engineering group within Google Cloud. And the company still has a pretty low amount of market share right now, and it's not really comparable to Amazon, Microsoft. So this is really part of an effort by Thomas Kurian, the CEO, to kind of streamline this company, which is the technical unit of the organization has doubled since he joined. So it's an effort to do that. And there's more than a dozen leaders who are named in this email that he notes will have either expanded or different roles.
Now, he has told us about his efforts to scale up the go-to-market, the sales organization in particular. And then most recently, when he was on with us, he was talking about more of an industry-led strategy of trying to provide specific AI-driven solutions to customers to gain share more quickly than competitors are. Is it your sense, perhaps, that that's what this engineering refocus is intended to do, accelerate that kind of industry-specific solution strategy?
It's definitely a part of that strategy. And this move shows, I think, that Thomas Kurian, the CEO, he's really not afraid to sideline some of the long-term veterans who have been at Google for decades. And that's what's happening with this reorg. It's very notable that there are longtime Googlers here who are lessening their responsibilities or moving to other areas in the company. And I think that shows that Thomas is kind of really focused on looking forward and not sort of afraid of hurting feelings for some of these, which is a kind of ongoing joke at Google, which is like veterans can have free range for as long as possible. But I think he sees a lot of change in the market and trying to just make itself agile for that.
Yeah, in enterprise tech, not a lot of feelings driving the decisions, it seems, and certainly not in Thomas Kurian's legacy. So as we look at this overall labor environment, I keep hearing about the great resignation, people being willing to move around more. I wonder if you are getting a sense on how the war for talent is playing out at various levels of organizations when it comes to technology and the need to build the future.
It's really important. There is a big competitive advantage for companies that aren't Google specifically right now because of the range and flexibility. And, especially with technical talent, it's people have a lot of options out there. And so they want this kind of flexible work environment. And Google, as you've mentioned on the show, has been a little bit more stringent. But, I think that Google Cloud and this action is one example of trying to make itself more competitive and make itself be able to kind of move a little bit more quickly, not this big tech giant trying to get into this enterprise market and make waves there. So, I think ultimately this kind of plays a role in that. And more broadly in Silicon Valley, there's just every little kind of competitive advantage matters to people. I think we'll see a lot more of that in the new year of who stays and who goes once people are expected back at the office.